Good afternoon. I just got home from work, but I've been feeling like all of this energy of anticipation and I don't know, it's like a really intense energy. I saw 77 this morning and 777 this afternoon. Very, very spiritual numbers. When I see those numbers, I know that there's a big message for the collective. And all of this anticipation that I am currently experiencing, I mean, yeah, I'm going through something as well, but that's anticipation on a whole nother level. But this is like something's getting ready to happen. So everybody just left to go down to the Outer Banks. My daughter, what a wimp. She, it's too hot in the house. Can I go get a hotel room and just leave for the night? I don't care what you do. Hold on. I don't care what you do. You're 19, you're on your own, do your thing, whatever. I just need you home on Monday. We've got a cold front moving through. It's already rained here. It hadn't rained up at work yet when I left. But yeah, it's already rained here and the temperature's dropped. And I was like, you don't need to go anywhere tonight. This is part of the reason why I'm leaving this situation, because this house is in shambles, and somebody who used to do contractor work and somebody who has pretty much his whole life done heating and air conditioning, our heat went out this winter right before the last Arctic blast came through. And I haven't had, this place is set up for central heating and air, or central air anyway, and haven't had any air conditioning the whole time I've lived here. So, whatever. I told you guys the rest of the story. So anyway, the anticipation, Spirit's got a message for somebody. Somebody's getting ready to get a spanking from Spirit. What I have is the shadow side of the comic from the Wild Unknown Archetypes. The shadow card represents the hidden aspects of the self, a revealing of those. And then the comic, we discussed this last week, is the jokester, the person who can walk in a room and heal a group of people just with a joke. And yet you learn a lesson. We've got Journey from the Energy Oracle. So, oh, and then at the bottom of that deck is Cornucopia reversed. But look at the numbers. It's an 11, which reduces to 2. And Journey is a 2. So, I want to read I liken the comic to the Heyoka shaman, the sacred clown, the person who can literally show you where you fucked up, make an ass out of you, and you think it's funny because you don't realize that it's about you until you get home and realize what was the contradiction. The comic is a walking paradox. But the shadow side of that is sarcasm, harshness, brooding, drunkenness. That's what I live with. They never take accountability for their actions. and always the victim. So journey is movement, relocation, and travel. Pack your bags. The journey card foretells upcoming travel or a shift in location. It may be as simple as a vacation, a retreat, or class, or even a work-related trip. This card could also signal a move of residence or a job relocation. There's been a lot of that floating around in the collective lately, where a lot of the readers that I listen to on a regular basis, and it's only like 3, have been talking about a move or like a relocation of residence or a job transfer or something. These readings that are out here on my table are for me first, because we are one and the same. So this may not, well, this is going to be a spanking. I have a feeling. I was too much anticipation. All of life is a journey, and this card is telling you that you have some exciting and inspiring adventures ahead. And then cornucopia reversed. The cornucopia reversed is often a card of personal frustration. You may find yourself feeling discouraged or having your wishes denied, or perhaps you're just disappointed with the delays involved. Don't be surprised or too disheartened. If obstacles seem to block your way, it may simply take some patience and persistence, action, or it may require a radical shift in how you're approaching your goals. This card reversed may indicate a cycle of restriction or a period of lack or loss. Don't let this deter you. Use the time to go deeper. There may be a lesson to learn or an entirely new direction to take. Be open, flexible, and aware. Remember, there are many roads to happiness. Let me read for you from the shadow, because now I'm feeling the story shift, but that there's still this like anticipation because of like, you know that there's going to be like a message. Although every card in the archetypes deck has a shadow potential, this card asks us to delve into the qualities of the shadow itself. We often think that the shadow can be purified, illuminated, and made right through effort and achievement. However, it is typically the case that our lofty pursuit of ascension and perfection is the very source of shadow material itself. By rejecting parts of ourselves in the world, we begin to separate from the whole. Rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadows, we busy ourselves with avoiding its presence. This is denial. This is bypassing. When this card appears, it's time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with, no, anything but that, you're touching shadow. Find support for this deep inner work and move toward the shadow with patience and compassion. So when doing shadow work, I tell people it's about integrating. It's about integrating the shadow. So this says revealing unconscious aspects of the self and the world. It also says denying unconscious aspects of the self and the world. So we're either revealing or denying. The comic can be hilarious, ingenious, spirited, easygoing, sarcastic, harsh, brooding, and drunk. Those qualities blended together, a revealing and a denying of the self. The self is hilarious and sarcastic. Ingenious, but harsh. spirited but brooding, easygoing, or drunk. Interesting. Cornucopia reversed, focused on what? Well, the journey card is exciting. The cornucopia reverse was about lack. The Three of Pentacles, you. This is you wanting help and assistance from a soul family, a soul tribe. This is you learning how to integrate. Maybe not become such a loner, coming out of the cave and wanting to do things with people. The High Priestess. You're keeping secrets. The Knight of Swords. Focus. Knight of Swords. You have a thought and you're running with it. Ten of Cups for the subconscious. So the background algorithm that's running is you have found a state of emotional satisfaction with yourself. You're not sharing that with anybody. You're keeping the wisdom that you gained from that to yourself. But you want to the Ace of Swords in the future. That's 2 swords. The Knight of Swords is moving toward this Ace of Swords. But teamwork and collaboration are at the heart of this. And why are you keeping your happiness to yourself? Is that what this is? You have strength, Leo energy. King of Cups again. Five of Swords. Four of Wands. Homecoming. Coming home to something. This King of Swords feels like somebody that feels like coming home. They feel like this Ten of Cups. Strength says you have integrated your shadow. You've become very at peace with yourself. You are learning who your audience is and when you need to speak and when you need to be quiet. Five of Swords tells me that, you know, like there may be communication issues, but you're learning how to communicate. Four of Wands is the reunion. Two of Swords. I'm sorry if you can't see these cards real well. I guess I chose the wrong deck for the lighting, but it was the right deck because that was the one I was told to get. So Two of Swords, there's a choice. The Hanged Man, it's going to require you to change your perspective, to sacrifice something of yourself. The Hierophant. Queen of Wands. It's going to require you to change your perspective on the feminine. You are this Queen of Wands. Tell me about this King of Cups. The King of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles. This is somebody who is working their ass off for the things that they have. Tell me about this Queen of Wands, please. Because these things have to do with this Ace of Swords. The clarity. Ace of Cups for the Queen of Wands. And one more, please. Three of Cups. Queen of Wands. Magnetic, charismatic, beautiful, stands on her business. Young. Doesn't have to be. In appearance. But young at heart. Integrated their inner child. The Hierophant is something about tradition. The Hanged Man is asking you to choose between tradition and passion. Live your life. No. Follow your greatest excitement with absolutely zero expectations. That's the Queen of Wands. With the Three of Cups. And the Ace of Cups. Zero expectations. You're attracting in your soul tribe. The King of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. That's with the King of Cups. He's not a hopeless romantic. He's just a stoic romantic who knows his worth and understands his value and works hard for what he has. The Five of Swords. If you want this, make it part of your story. There's something here about the shadow side of the comic. Like, you are learning how to say the things that are on your mind. Yeah, you're allowed to say the things that are on your mind. You are learning how to do it in a way that doesn't seem so blunt. And there's some kind of conversation that wants to be had with the Knight of Swords. It's like this conversation with this King of Cups is going to give you the clarity that leads to this Ace of Cups, Three of Cups. And it has to do with Soul Tribe. Cornucopia reversed. You're frustrated. You're discouraged by having your wishes denied. Perhaps you're just disappointed with the delays. It's going to take some patience and persistent action, or it may require a radical shift in how you're approaching your goals. You want Soul Tribe. You can have Soul Tribe. What are you doing with your communication right now that may be blocking you? Where are you? You know, this is part of your journey. Like, you have to recognize your shadow. Where are you having trouble communicating? For me personally, my issue with communicating is that I'm on the phone for 8 hours a day talking to clients, making appointments, and people fucking annoy me. I ask you a question, I expect a direct answer, and I get a lot of runaround. And I just absolutely hate talking on the phone, which in my interpersonal relationships, and Janice can attest to this because I told her when I first met her also, like, yes, we can have a phone call. I would love to be able to get your energy across sound waves. You know, it's part of the reason why I really like TikTok and doing these videos, because, you know, you may hear me say something that's kind of harsh and hard to hear, but you can feel through the sound waves that that's not my intention. But I'm scared to talk on the phone with people that I like, that, you know, I also want to hear their voice because I recognize their voice, right? But it's just a very awkward thing for me. It feels like meeting new people. So yeah, I have some anxiety with communication on the phone, but once we get warmed up to each other, I'm fine. It's just the initial act of making the call. If it's left up to me, I'll never be the first one to make the call. And, you know, maybe there's a lesson in there with that for someone too. I'm just out of my chasing era. I feel like if people really, really need me, they're going to call me. I'm not chasing, and I'm no longer having any expectation for what's going to happen. Because I want the right things to happen. Queen of Wands, right? Like, I want to attract the things that make me excited. That's all. I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.